Hello there, Aries. Welcome to your reading. My name is Indra. I'll see you in a second. Okay, so before we begin, I'd just like to take a prayer, say a prayer, and yeah. Divine Father, Divine Mother, Divine Source, please allow me to bring through a message for Aries for the highest good. Amen. Okay. Intense energies lately, Aries. I don't know if you've been feeling it. Definitely some intense energies for sure, just in general for people, for everyone. Um, I mean, the elections, obviously, in the United States, irrelevant whether you're from the United States or not, really, it kind of affects us all in some ways. But yeah, just that coming up in like what, 3 days, 2 days or something, I believe. I think it's the 5th of November. I don't really follow that sort of stuff, but to me, it's entertainment for the most part. So I know many people don't feel that way, but yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on that. But yeah, just in general, like definitely intense energies. Just I feel like there's overall this energy of new beginnings, and obviously the election, for example, just going back to that again, would obviously lend itself to the idea. But in general, I just feel like there's a lot of closure happening and like a new chapter beginning right now, basically. Lots of breakthroughs. To be honest with you, I haven't really studied like astrology and whatnot, but I would definitely love to add that to my kind of study at some point. I just kind of follow it casually, but yeah, I'm pretty certain there'll be something going on with the zodiac, with the astrological stuff. So, okay, so here we go then. I'm going to be doing Celtic Cross today. I am a new reader, so um, yeah, just sort of finding my feet a little bit for sure. This is my second reading now for about a year. I used to do it uh, fairly regularly, and then life happens, and here I am back doing it. So here we go then. So one thing I'm not still sure about is whether I want to. It's not should be. It's whether I want to uh, turn over all the cards at once. At the moment, I'm just kind of flowing with it, and I'm finding myself to be more in alignment with just kind of flipping them one card at a time. Um, but yeah, in the future, maybe I'll be doing. I'm in very much like in the experimental phase of my tarot journey, but so it's all sort of subject to change to some degree. Okay, so let's see what we have. For your current energies, I don't read reversals, so let's just cancel that, but let's sort of lightly note it. Okay, so Six of Cups, it can represent kind of like your ideal kind of like in life, basically. Your kind of dream, I don't know, like environment. Uh, your ideal sort of place, your kind of almost like slice of heaven, what heaven means to you, essentially. Uh, It's the place in life where you feel very fulfilled, aligned, secure. I'll just show you actually. You can see that there's a guard here, and so that represents safety. It's a place of safety. So I feel like you're in a good place right now. I feel like you're, obviously this is general reading, so keep that in mind as well. But overall, I feel like you're in a good place right now. Feeling aligned, feeling secure, feeling hopeful about life. It could also talk about maybe the possibility of sort of like a romantic connection. Not for everyone, of course, but it's there. I mean, obviously, like the girl, I think it's actually supposed to be a little girl, but either way, she's being offered like kind of like love. Sorry, not love, rather. It doesn't have to be love, but flowers at least. Obviously, hinting at potential romantic connection coming in. Um, Maybe you're in a happy partnership right now. I don't know, feeling good about your partnership if you're in one. Also, the flowers on the cups. If you notice, they let me show you again. They kind of resemble a star. So it can also kind of talk about the star card, uh, representing regeneration, again, hope, um, inspiration, maybe feeling a bit inspired about life, feeling like maybe yeah, as I say, you're in a good place. So I imagine what comes with along with that would be inspiration, about life in general. Maybe your dreams. Maybe you feel like it's possible. Maybe you're having a renewal of faith in some sort of way. Okay, so the energies that are crossing or either helping or hindering you. Okay, is Three of Pentacles. Let me just show you this. I'm going to try to make a conscious effort to show you the cards a little close up. So the Three of Pentacles, it can talk about collaboration, teamwork, growth. It can talk about building foundations and also embracing the learning process. Hmm. So it looks positive, honestly. I can't imagine in any scenario where that would be kind of like a negative on your current sort of energies and where you are right now. It could be that you're collaborating with someone, you're teaming up with someone. Um, it could be that you're trying to, like, career wise, it can talk about career, like apprenticeship, or like maybe study even, like trying to grow a career. Um, that's what I'm getting for now. So let's come back to that at some point, perhaps. So for the basis of the reading, whoopsie, excuse me. Sorry about that, just dropped the card. So, nice. Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles for the basis of your reading. It could be. I'm getting a lot of like almost like community. Maybe like a group of people. In some form. Um, it could be that your dreams. I mean, I talked about it earlier that the Six of Cups. It can talk about your ideal like dreams and hopes. Your kind of like slice of heaven on earth. But basically, Ten of Pentacles, it absolutely represents like security. Again, security with the Six of Cups. This idea that you're protected in this space. It always vibes to me almost like a community. If you notice, like it's like there's this almost like courtyard kind of place here, and it's like very secure. It's like very well guarded. And if you notice, there's lots of like you probably can't see very well. Yeah, so if you notice, there's like windows, right, and there's like this big building and tower and whatnot. This whole infrastructure. It seems like there's like some sort of community aspect to this place as well as just the three figures you see in this card. So again, I'm getting this similar sort of vibe here with the kind of community aspect. Ten of Pentacles is a very strong community kind of card. It can also talk about balance because if you notice, there's like, well, you probably can't even see that. I can barely see that from where I am. But basically, there's these scales, like almost like Libra energy type thing, above the old man's head. I'm getting it very strongly that, I don't know, dare I say, like your ideal dream would be involving a lot of people, like maybe starting your own community, to be honest with you. Um, Maybe you're thinking about your dreams for the future, about how you would love to kind of like rally certain people together, perhaps, and leave a legacy for generations to come. Um, I love this card personally because I truly resonate with that whole idea, to be honest with you. I would love to start my own community at some point, but we'll see if that's in the works for me. But basically, the old man pictured in the forefront of the foreground, is it? The foreground of the image. He, to me, he was his dream to basically start up a community and um, see it, watch it grow and really develop it. I mean, to be honest, again with the tower, like if you look at the structures behind them, you've very much got like this tower with lots of like windows. The same thing is going on here, like tower with lots of windows, and it's like the same place. It's like what I'm seeing right now psychically. It's kind of like the same place. It's the same scene. It's the same, or maybe different scene. It's like the same place but different scenes. Maybe that was this morning. That was later on in the evening. Um, so there's definitely this strong sense of community. It can talk about success as well. So like as you can see, they're a success. I mean the old man, he's supposed to be like kind of like the elder of the tribe essentially, one of the founders perhaps. And hey, like look at this robe. It's some fine garment. It's not just some rags. They're not struggling in that way at least. So it can absolutely point to success and also long-term success, because it can also talk about long-term reward. So the basis of the reading. So it seems like you want to. It seems like you're collaborating with someone. Maybe it is you're actually literally looking to form a community, and maybe you've actually linked up with someone who you feel very strongly could be on the same page. Because in your current in energy, what's either helping or hindering your current energy is collaboration. So um, yeah. Okay, let's carry on before we get too invested. So in the recent past, okay, again, not reading reversals today. The Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands can speak about arguments and disagreements, competition, conflict, and tension. So, let's see now. In the recent past, maybe there was a bit of a squabble, maybe there was a bit of some tension in some form. I mean, again, community, um, maybe family, perhaps, maybe some family issues. I mean, this could very well be talking, now that I'm thinking about this, um, it could be a reading about family. Maybe there's some hopes and dreams regarding family and for your family, perhaps. I mean, hey, it's a general reading. I don't know. Um, and yeah, maybe in the recent past there was, actually, I will put that at the front. There was some issues, perhaps internally between the family. Very common event. um, but hmm, yes. So there could be some argument, some tension, some disagreements, maybe within the community. Again, there's five. Is it? Yeah, yeah, five figures here. It doesn't have to be a negative card like with tension and uh, arguments and whatnot. It can just be talking about like healthy competition as well. But I'm not really picking that up here. Okay, so let's see. The potential outcome is the star. How funny, talking about the star earlier, and it shows up. Interesting. Um, hmm. Okay, let me just show you this close up. So the star. So the star is number 17 in the major arcana. Um, it can mean regeneration, healing, having hope, a renewed sense of hope. It definitely, I'm thinking like there's some sort of mission statement. There's your mission in life, I should say, here, like to do with like a lot of people. There's a lot of figures here, man. There's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of group sort of elements here. Um, so it could very well be like your guiding light is to form some kind of community or a family, like some sort of thing involving multiple different people. Because the star can represent like your North Star. So this is the North Star here, and it's my understanding of the North Star is it's fixed in a fixed position. It never moves. So it's always that guiding light essentially. So the star can talk about guidance, something that's propelling you forward in life, um, something that's inspiring, and yeah, it could speak of faith as well. Um, so that's awesome, right? Like if that's the potential outcome, then hey, that's looking pretty tasty. Okay, in the near future, Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups in your near future. Let's tap into this a moment. Okay, so yeah, so the Five of Cups can represent the following. It can represent loss. It can represent pain, negativity, depression. Um, it can also represent being trapped in the past. Hmm, interesting. So if it is that I mean, this is in the near future. So um, hey, like if you're gonna have an issue like with life and like go into kind of like depression mode right now, it's totally normal, you know. It's healthy to be depressed at certain in certain parts of our lives. It's necessary. It's it's to be embraced, honestly. Like, some people say depression, if you break it down phonetically, can represent deep rest. Deep rest. Okay? So, hey, like if you need that rest, absolutely take it. Um, but yeah, the Five of Cups, it can represent like someone who has lost his taste for wine. Okay, like very much like morning energy. Um, if I mean, hey, like if this reading's about like conflict within like a group environment, just know that like what will be, and you will rejection is God's protection, right? And people come, people go in our lives, and it's to be embraced. It's to like if people have to like depart in your life, then it's just what it is. That's what's going to happen, and so it's better to just kind of like honor the time that if it was a positive anyway, of course, but it's better to just appreciate the fact that certain individuals were in your life, etc. And now that time's gone, it's about like as one door closes, another door opens. And as I say, like with the Five of Cups, so he's mourning these cups over here, but then he has two here upright still. So it's all about turning your attention to gratitude and appreciation rather than focusing on the negative. Excuse me. And and also if you notice there's this like bridge over here with this little sort of like new adventure here happening. And so it's all about turning our attention to what's going on here, right? And working well with what we have and not what we don't no longer have, no longer have rather. So okay, moving on. So the self. So this is the self. So this is how you are affecting this situation. Okay. So number 20, the Judgment card. Okay. So with the Judgment card, it can represent kind of like awakening. It can represent rebirth. It can represent being put back on track. Um, it can represent being kind of like called by the higher realms, like kind of like a summoning from the higher realms, from the angels. You can see that the angel blowing his trumpet, calling the dead back to life, essentially, renewing uh, renewing life to them, essentially. And then it can also represent letting go. So there's definitely this element of this reading now with kind of like this needing to like let go and like focus on the positives, perhaps. Um, it seems like you're answering the call. It seems like God's kind of calling you out, like not in a bad way, but like calling you out of your situation onto pastures new. Um, you can see here that there's this sort of like new adventure happening over here. It's almost like God's asking you to bring your attention to the positives from the situation, if there was in fact conflict. Uh, and yeah, just like putting you back on track essentially. Um, so it seems like you're answering it. It seems like you're receptive to it. So that could be helping things to move on, right? Move forwards. Okay, so this is your environment. Okay, so this is how your environment is affecting the reading. Interesting card here. So Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands can represent determination, um, perseverance, passion. It can represent sort of like a conflict scenario as well. I do have to say that there's some sort of like issue with the environment being kind of like hostile or something, perhaps. I am getting that kind of strongly here. Seems like there's this like element of like having to stand up for kind of like what you believe in, uh, and having to summon your inner strength in some way. This is showing up in your environment. Yeah, I have to say, like there is something here with conflict now with the reading. It's like they're in conflict, he's in conflict. I mean, you don't see them on the image, but you know it's widely accepted that like there's a group here like kind of like attacking him, and he's having to defend himself. Hmm. Okay, so here we go. The Tower in your hopes and fears. So the Tower. The Tower is number 16 in the Major Arcana. Um, Endings. It's like I'm feeling that this is like attachment energy here with all this with this situation. Like it's like it could be that you've been kind of feeling attached with maybe this community, this group, and it's coming having to come and kind of like evolve and like maybe half the community goes one way, other half goes another way or something. Because again, here with the Five of Cups, it's almost like the splitting of the ways, the paths is like, two cups go that way, three cups go that way in a sense. And again, obviously with the Tower, you got two figures here, one going that way, one going that way. Um, but if that's the case, then hey, like we're supposed to like embrace these changes, and that's a challenge, of course. It's easier said than done sometimes. When there's emotions involved, attachments, and like hurt feelings perhaps from arguments and whatnot. But just know that it's for your benefit if if this is your reading. It's for your benefit in the long run, as painful as it might be. Um, so just turn your attentions to what's coming ahead rather than what's behind, and try to let go. Try to let go of kind of past hurts and just embrace the new. Okay, so for your outcome, okay, so we've got the Two of Pentacles here. To me, it's talking about the idea of like this being kind of like a rebalancing, okay, of a certain situation. You can see that he's juggling, right? He's juggling these pentacles, uh, very topsy-turvy uh, waters in the background, so he's like kind of like having to stabilize it. It can represent flowing, like so the need for flow, for things to just flow nicely, rather than just like very chaotic. So um, yeah, so it can represent just like the need to rebalance things, right? Um, so it looks positive, honestly. Like it seems like no matter like if this is your reading, and of course, like if you're this far into the reading, that I imagine there's some truth to it. It's resonating for you, but yeah, there's this whatever this situation is, it's like it's a part of your rebalancing, and with the judgment here, it's very much like this idea of like being put back on track. Okay, so just have faith in what's going to happen, and um, just remember everything is perfect. Ultimately everything is just as it should be. Okay, and just try to embrace it, and see what God is trying to do for you in your life. Like, and one thing I love to say, and it's to me, it's absolutely just a law of the universe. As one door closes, another door opens, So, and just finally, to wrap this reading up, we're going to have a look at the bottom of the deck. Okay, what a positive end here. So we've got the Four of Wands. It can represent 1111. Okay, with the wands here, you can see it, 1111. It can represent a portal, okay, because you're stepping through. Um, so 1111. Off the top of my head, I can't really remember what 1111 is supposed to mean. Although I remember it being some kind of like cool, some kind of cool from the angels, essentially from God, a call to action. Okay, um, very much like a portal into a different timeline, like a timeline jump. Um, but ultimately, four of Wands can represent a time of celebration, homecoming, like very much like a party atmosphere, like reasons to celebrate, things coming to fruition. So just trust that this is gonna, you know, come out well for you. Um, and yeah, just looks really positive. Like you have a renewed sense of hope and faith in life, after this is all sort of calmed down. So there we go, Aries. Yeah, that was your reading. My name is Indra Montes. It's been a pleasure to read for you today. If this resonated for you, definitely hit that like and whatnot, and subscribe for future content. Yeah, you have a wonderful week. Bye bye.